In the previous video, we created positive and negative from the profile sketch. Select the positive sketch and apply helix. Click the operation icon that appears when you hover your mouse over the input field of pitch in Property. All operations must be linked to the profile sketch. When you enter Pro, a pop-up window will open and you can see the profile with the sketch icon in the list. Enter point. Select Constraints. Enter point. Select Pitch. If you don't want to repeat this process, you can also copy and paste. Select the face to create the tail and apply helix. Modify the base axis to Z. Check reversed. Profile. Point. Constraints. Point. Pitch. Set height to 2 mm. Corn angle is -30 degrees. Select the face to create the opposite tail and apply helix. Profile. Point. Constraints. Point. Pitch. Set height to 2 mm. Corn angle is -30 degrees. Activate Body 001 and select Negative Sketch. Apply subtractive helix. I will skip the repeated explanation. Oh, there are no threads, only cracks. I tried several times but it didn't work. It may be solved by changing the position of the profile. I want to solve it without moving the profile sketch. Select the binder that was automatically generated from the negative sketch when applying subtractive helix. Change Z position to a multiple of pitch -6. You can see that the profile position has changed. But there is still no thread. Double-click the blue helix in the tree to activate the parameters. Enter 0.001 in cone angle. 0.001 is a meaningless number for small objects. The thread has been created. If you check the cone angle value in parameters again, it is displayed as 0. Select the profile sketch. Which is the center of all operations? At this stage, all other items except pitch can be adjusted without any problem. Now let's change the pitch. Something went wrong. If you look closely at the tolerance part, you can see that the thread of body 001 has become smaller, but the thread of body has not changed. In the tree view of body, a blue check mark appears on the last helix icon. Activate the previous icon of the last helix to disable the following tasks. I will explain the cause of this problem in a few minutes. There is another problem. The size of the thread is fine, but the position is wrong. That is because I lowered the position of the binder to -6 earlier. When the pitch was 3, it was not a problem because 6 is a multiple of 3, but because the pitch was changed to 4. The thread of body 001 starting at -6 is wrong. You should select the helix binder of body 001 and enter -4 or -8 for the Z of the placement, but since this video is to show the change, I changed it back to 0 for convenience. I plan to apply the operation later. Because the Z of the two bodies and the two profiles are correct, the pitch can be freely changed. You can see two incomplete parts. The tolerance has disappeared in the marked part. This is because the position of the binder used to create the thread of body 001 was returned to 0. This part, which looks like a lizard's severed tail, is because helix 004 was disabled. When helix 004 is enabled, the pitch returns to 3 mm. When disabled, it goes back to 4 mm. When the disabled helix 004 is selected, you can see the part where the thumbnail and solid overlap and are misaligned. This is because the position of binder 001 supporting helix 004 is incorrect. In other CADs I've used, in this case, it would say that it couldn't find the face and the process would stop. Then I would have to go back to the previous step and apply the helix, modify the axis, input the pitch operation, and define the height and corn angle. But FreeCAD is free and liberal, so you only need to modify the binder a little. Select the binder. Open the box to modify the reference face of the binder. You will see a question mark next to the selected helix. Uncheck it. Select the correct face in the 3D window. The question mark disappeared as the helix got a check mark. Now let's activate the helix. It's fixed. But the tip is not sharp. This is fine as is, but I prefer a clean, sharp tip, so I'll modify it a bit. I'll change the height of the two helixes that make the tail from 2.5 mm to 3 mm. I like it. The binder position needs to be lowered enough. I'm going to apply the operation because it's annoying to calculate and input the multiple of the pitch every time. Profile. Point. Constraints. Point. Pitch. Multiply by -2. I see a warning, but I won't stop. Refresh or F5. Right-click or Ctrl D70. Return to the previous step of the last helix. I'll activate the previous step because the last helix needs to be modified once the thread specification is determined. I made the binder visible to check if it works. You can see the binder moving. Four mm pitch at 60 degrees is too big. I did a lot of testing with this model. I spent a lot of time printing with various conditions and finding the thread specifications I needed. All the specifications I used as a base in the video are the ones I found. It varies depending on what you are designing, but generally there was no big problem applying it anywhere.